I knew this day was coming, I just didn't know when. And now, this day has arrived. Hey, what's up YouTube world? It's Ryan from Riding in Style. So I'm just getting back from my trip. Those of you that followed me along the journey, thank you. And now it's time to get back to some car stuff. So, gone for about 3 weeks, came back home and my car battery is dead. Now, it was already a week before I left, so I knew it was gonna not last very long. I just didn't know when. Like, it started to stall during the turning over and whatnot. So fortunately I have AAA, and I've never used a single service from them, but I called them and they actually cover the battery testing. They also test the starter and the alternator. And if the battery needs to be changed, they provide the battery. I do need to pay for it, but it's discounted. I think the charger is an H7 battery for those of you that have the V8. It might be a different part number for the V6. So AAA is here. Turns out everything's running fine. I just need a new battery. So they need to install it though. I wanted to do a video documenting the install of a new battery, but their policy says they need to be the ones to install it. So I may either try and videotape without getting in the way of the install, or just maybe take it out and reinstall it myself. But the risk on doing that is that if the battery goes to complete zero, it can actually screw up your PCM. So it's not good to wait if your battery is weak. It's better to get it changed.
Before you record, I'm gonna go grab the battery. Sorry,
okay, no problem. All right, so I just learned that when I mentioned earlier that if your battery goes down to zero, it can cause PCM damage. And they're aware of that, especially for luxury cars. So what he did is he provided this power box here, and he's going to keep the battery terminals connected while he replaces the battery. So there's never really a moment of absolute zero power, so it doesn't damage anything with the PCM. Great information. And all the bolts on the battery for the ratchet is a 10 millimeter.
Okay, remove these. So whenever you're switching them out, it's best to remove it because you're gonna have power running through. So if you touch anything metal to that power side, you run the risk of getting shot or doing something.
So it's just that short moment of no power.
And then earlier, that's why I told you to leave the vehicle running, so that way.
Okay, there's some juice in there.
Yes.
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah. The first thing we take off is that bolt from the plate down there. This is Daniel, by the way, AAA member of the year right here. It's awesome.
So now the plate's out. All I gotta do now is take off the terminals.
It's that easy.
Yes. So the negative side does look like it was, so that's good.
Oh yeah, I took that off when I installed the PCM and everything. You actually have to disconnect the battery.
Okay.
So yeah, that side I kept it loose.
Connect the power source back to the vehicle itself.
Okay, so there's always a power flow.
Yes, you pretty much want to make sure that you put them on in a way to where it shouldn't come off. So now that's on there pretty good.
Ah, okay.
And then as you can see,
the lights come back on.
The lights will come back on. So sometimes this side is harder. So that one's on there. And then, like I said, because it still has power running through, you want to watch out for your positive side because the thing is still hot.
Oh, okay. You want to set it on a rag or something to prevent any accidental contact?
Usually you can, but because I do this so much,
you're good.
Yeah.
You're good. All right, sounds good.
And then on your battery, I don't know if you noticed, but you have this little, I guess you can say, ratchet strap that also keeps the battery in place. So pretty much you remove this here. Just pull this back and then hold this way, and then I can go ahead and pull the battery out. So now she's
So there's
out of
the
there.
ratchet strap he was talking about, just to keep it in place, keep it tight. And again, the terminals are hooked up to this power box here, so there's still power running to the car so that the PCM never really goes without power. So if you're going to do it this way, where you keep the power connected to the terminals, you will need help to move them out of the way to put the battery in. It's nearly impossible, as it is a very heavy battery, and the terminals cannot touch each other or any other metal. So you may need a second pair of hands to help you lift them out of the way when installing the new battery. And that's pretty much it for the install. It's a matter of placing it in there, retightening that ratchet belt, and then terminals, metal plate, and we're good to go.
And then a quick side note that I usually recommend, when tightening the terminals, you don't want to tighten them too tight.
Okay.
Because even though the post on the battery looks solid, it's actually hollow. So if you tighten them too tight,
It could
you
crack.
actually squeeze that post, and then you can cause damage to the
Oh,
battery.
that's an excellent point. So
So-
just enough for attention.
Yep. Just
Okay.
by hand, if you go to try and move them, it doesn't move.
Got it.
So
Yeah, there we go.
doesn't move. So
Excellent point. Anyone watching this video is going to just walk away with the wealth of knowledge. Thanks to Daniel over here. Appreciate it.
you're welcome.
And that's it. Last step. And I did notice when the battery was hooked back up, even though I had the white LED trunk lights, they actually were they were brighter. Like they got a full dose of power versus not as bright with the battery that was weaker. They still went on because they require just a little power, but they weren't as bright. Yes, last step is the metal bracket that goes right down there, and that will do it. So that's pretty much it, guys. The battery install is done. One less thing I need to worry about. Like I said, it was one of those things that I knew it was getting weak, but I had to basically wait until it died before I could change it. And that's it. So if any of you were wondering, the battery is a H7. The bolts are a 10 millimeter. And that is a great point about keeping the battery hooked up to power. That's something I never would have thought about. I mean, most people, we just take out one battery and then put in the other one. But to keep the terminals hooked up to power to avoid any computer damage is, I think it's a great take home tip for anyone looking or needing to change your batteries as well. Thank you all for watching. This is Ryan from Riding in Style.
Yeah.